Notes for this video can be found on PageKeySolutions.com or at the link in the description. Hey, my name's Steve with PageKey Solutions. Today we're doing our first installment of a new series where I'll be coding a fitness app from scratch. So the story behind this is I just finished up 12 weeks in a row, quite proud of it, with my father. We both went to the gym 3 days a week, and I came up with this system for recording exactly what I did in the gym. And it started out as a spreadsheet that included what I thought was everything: reps, weights, times, distances. And then eventually I turned it into a CSV file with accompanying Python scripts. And I did something similar for managing my time and my finances and even my possessions. And it's becoming very unwieldy. And now that we just finished up this 12-week block, I want to share these scripts with my father, but it's not too easy because he has to get Python installed and all this stuff. It's just a mess. This is a problem that's really meant to be solved with a mobile application or something like that. I've been trying not to dive in because I feel like it's going to be really hard and take a lot of time, which I don't really have much of right now, but I'm going to do it anyway and we'll see how far we get. And this time I'll actually make it open source. I probably should have done that for the language app too, but whatever. Live and learn. This is going to be an open source app and you can definitely, fork it or do whatever you want to do with it. So what have I done today? Not too much. Really, I just ran the flutter create command was the first thing. Just generate the project. And then I did a Control-Shift-F in my project. So Control-Shift-F for com.example, because that's what gets generated as your application ID right when you make the project. So I had to go find all of the instances of com.example and change it to com.PageKeySolutions. In your case, if you're doing this yourself, you're going to change that to whatever your domain name is or whatever your name is so that it's unique to you. That has to be your unique app ID. So there's that. And then I found an article about how to set up Google Drive. My big idea behind this app is I want it to be all plain text. So you can have your own CSV file, store it however you want, use this app to manage it. But if you want to take your data, you can just, pick up your CSV and go. Backing up your data is as easy as making a copy of that file and putting it wherever you want to put it. Hence the name of the app is PFL, Plain Text for Life, but we'll start out by calling it Plain Text for Life Fitness because we're going to focus on the fitness first. Either way, I haven't done too much with this yet. I followed half of that article. I didn't even finish it yet. But we have the out-of-the-box thing here, and there's a little bit of code, if I could get rid of this window, a little bit of code in the button click handler that comes with the standard app that this article tells us to put in there, where I didn't even read this code, but it works. So most of the setup was in Firebase, where we had to register this application and say that it wants Google Drive access and all that stuff. Once that's done, it takes just these 3 lines and you click the button, and I actually already did it. So that little box you saw fly by would have been the login with Google screen, but I just did it 5 or 10 minutes ago. So it's already logged in with Google. If you check the run log, you can see that it found my account. Oops, that's my personal email. Don't look at that. And the pub spec YAML file, we had to add these 2 Google packages, and that's about it. And then just do, pub install or whatever it is. And that's as far as we've gotten. Very small step, but at least we started, which can be the hardest part. So tune in next time for more programming of this project. Another interesting little tidbit of what we're starting with here. Basically, I have a lot of data already in this format, which don't judge me. Don't look at my rep counts and all that stuff, whatever. Don't say you're lifting more than me. All right, I get it. But anyway, you have the date, the workout, the reps, the weights, the times, the distances, goal, and any notes that go along with it. And the weights, reps, times, and distances are actually just space-separated strings. That's just how it's stored. Not the best way to do it, but I wanted to keep it extra simple for the beginning when I started out with this project. And then you have the workouts.csv here, which has all of the different workouts that are possible to do, and you can add things to this if you want. One big flaw with this is that the workouts are indexed by their name. It's looking these up by name to figure out what type of workout it is. There's only 2 types: reps, weights, or time, distance, and it's looking it up by name. So if I wanted to change the name of this, I would have to change the name of Crunch throughout all of the logs and in this workouts.csv. Not ideal. So that's one thing that I would do. I would change it to have an ID. And another thing would be, instead of storing this as a space-separated string, I think we're going to have a separate table for reps, weights, times, and distances. And then each log entry for, a workout might have to have multiple reps or weights or whatever to it. I guess. I'm not sure what the best way to do it is yet, because I don't want to make it too hard to read or too hard to understand. But we'll see. Anyway, there's also this little generator. It generates a form basically for me to take into the gym with me. I put it on my phone in my little note-taking app, Google Keep if anyone uses that, and then I just fill it out basically with what I'm doing. And then I come home, I paste it into this workout.txt, and I run the script that basically sucks all the data out of this and appends it to the CSV file. I used to be spending 20 or 30 minutes inputting data, which was such a pain. I had this little thing that would ask you one after another what workout, how many reps, how many weights, and it was just such a pain. Finally I got this script done, but it's getting to the point where it's still pretty unwieldy. This whole system is very wonky and it only works for me. So I'm excited to apply this to something that might be useful to other people too, without tons of setup. The last thing is, again, don't judge me, but I generated a report in a PDF form from this data. And basically every time I input data, I generate the report, and then the next time I go into the gym, I use my PRs sheet here to figure out what I'm trying to beat for that particular workout. And then it also tells you, what did you lift this week? What did you lift last week? And I started trying to add a report just for my little 12-week block that I just finished, but it's really becoming such a massive pain to maintain any of this that I think it's time to upgrade. So it works for me now. I might keep using this if the app's not ready in time, but I think it's time to move on to something better, and hopefully something better that more than one person can use. We'll see.